while replying to a question that why propagation and conversion is not allowed in Mullah's brand of Islam, Zakir Naik says,
The brother asked a very good question and a very important question. This question has got two parts. The first part is that why don't some of the Muslim countries allow conversion or allow propagation? Allow conversion from anyone to convert Muslim to a non-Muslim, basic question, whether it be anyone. And secondly, what about the death penalty for conversion? What if America today does not allow propagation, does not allow conversion? What will be your state? Very good question. Brother, as far as the propagation is concerned, there are countries, for example Saudi Arabia, which does not allow propagation. The only country which I know very well, which does not allow propagation, it is Saudi Arabia. And the reason is that suppose, brother, you want to start a school. If you want to start a school, you are taking an interview of a maths teacher. So when you take the interview of the maths teacher, you ask the question, 2 plus 2 is equal to how much? So one maths teacher says 2 plus 2 is equal to 3. The second maths teacher says 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. The third maths teacher says 2 plus 2 is equal to 5. Now many people say, what's the problem? Let them preach any religion. Whoever wants to accept, let them accept. I will ask you a question. Will you allow a maths teacher in your school to teach 2 plus 2 is equal to 3? Will you select the maths teacher who says 2 plus 2 is equal to 5? You say, no, I know maths. I'm definite about it. In maths, 2 plus 2 is equal to 4 and nothing else. So as far as religion is concerned, Saudi Arabia is very concerned. It agrees with the verse of the Quran in Surah Imran, chapter 3, verse number 19. In the Deen in the Lord Islam, the only religion acceptable in the sight of Almighty God is peace acquired by submitting evil to Almighty God. They will not allow anyone else to preach anything wrong.
Viewers might have noticed that even children are laughing at the stupid analogy of matters relating to faith with mathematics. Can matters relating to faith be settled like 2 plus 2 equals to 4 in this world? If yes, then why does God say that it is He who will settle differences in the matters of faith on the day of judgment? Thus in chapter 5, verse 48 of Holy Quran, we read that,
And to Allah ye will all return, and He will then inform you of that wherein ye differ.
In this verse, God says that this world is a place of test for us. It will be Allah Himself who will show us the truth like 2 plus 2 equals to 4 on the day of judgment in the matters of faith. But this mullah pretends to be God himself by taking God's set authority in his own hands. Now watch reply to a similar question by an Ahmadi Muslim scholar. An Ahmadi scholar, when asked that why preaching other religions and building of churches are not allowed in Saudi Arabia, said,
So the fault lies with those people who do something of their own and leave the people in this misunderstanding as if they are doing it in the name of Islam. So I would say, if you have to find out what Islam says about that, you first of all have to study the Holy Quran. Secondly, you have to see the example of the Holy Prophet of Islam. Let's go to that example. It was the Holy Prophet of Islam who once, it is a historical fact, he welcomed a Christian delegation coming from Najran. There were 70 people in that delegation. They came in order to discuss certain religious matters with the Prophet of Islam. They came to Medina. There was a mosque built by the Prophet, which is known as Prophet's Mosque. They were welcomed into that mosque. They sat face to face with the Holy Prophet of Islam. They discussed the matters with him. And during the meeting, the time for their worship came. And they asked the Prophet, won't you kindly excuse us to go out somewhere so that we can pray according to our own religion? The reply of the Prophet was that why do you have to go out? Why don't you stay in? Continue staying in this mosque, remain here, and we will just suspend the meeting for a time. So in the meantime, you can come and pray according to whatever you want to pray. So literally, it is recorded that the members of the delegation, they physically stayed there and they worshipped in the mosque of the Prophet. So now, can you make a comparison with this noble example with what is being done in Saudi Arabia nowadays? So the yardstick is not the present or the future or the previous regime in Saudi Arabia. This is the, I think, a real point which creates all the misunderstanding. The yardstick is either the teachings contained in the Holy Quran or the noble example of the Holy Prophet of Islam, who has been quoted as the noblest example, the role model. So that example I have already quoted. He used to meet with Christian people. He used to host them as well, the Jews as well. Sometimes Christian and Jewish people, they came and stayed as a guest in the house of the Holy Prophet of Islam. And the Holy Prophet of Islam was there to serve them and to look after them. So mixing is not disallowed with these people, and looking after them is also right. And this example of the mosque which I have quoted, so I think that should clarify that you can raise by all means any objection against the present attitude of the present government in Saudi Arabia. But based on that one, I am sorry to say, you cannot object the teachings of Islam. I am not responsible to justify or to endorse what the Saudi Arabian government is doing it. They are doing whatever they like. So how can I take this responsibility to defend them? The same is about Pakistan, about other countries. What my duty is, and that's a very noble and sacred duty, I simply have to defend the teachings of Islam, the teachings as contained in the Holy Quran. But if some people, they do not do according to that one, I will be the last person ever to endorse that one. Now earlier on we were discussing about suicide bombers. Can I support those people? Or any other person who is killing other people or doing unlawful activities? It's not my responsibility to defend those people who betray their own religion. I am here only simply to say this is what Islam says according to the Quran, and I am only here to defend that teaching, not the attitude of other people.
Now it is up to every viewer to decide honestly that is Mullah's brand of Islam rational, or is it Islam Ahmadiyya, which is beautiful, rational as well as practical? Can these mullahs stop the preaching of other faiths in this era of information technology? In other words, mullahs' understanding of Islam is no more practical, as now they cannot stop the preaching of other faiths to their blind followers via modern technology.